In order to do a simple grab this object and then that will complete an objective, it doesn't involve much. It actually involves only a few things. First thing we're going to go is we're going to spawn down the object that we want to collect. Now mind you, the way that this system is brought about, none of these objects actually exist in the game world. I'll explain what this means in a minute. So for this particular example, I want the player to go up, grab the briefcase, and once the briefcase has been collected, the objective that we set is complete. So, spawn the object you want. In this instance, it's a suitcase. We're going to double click on the suitcase and give it a variable name under object init. I'll call this suitcase, all one word, doesn't matter, you can name it however you want. I'm going to now hit OK. The second thing I'm going to do, under systems, I want to go to Intel, create task. The next thing I want is a set task state, which I can put on the bottom here. Finally, the last thing I want is under triggers. I'm going to put the trigger down, and this is the basic structure for this organism, or rather for this particular event. So the first thing I want to do under trigger is go into the condition and set the condition to alive suitcase semicolon. I'll then hit OK. I will then take this trigger, right click, connect, synchronize it to the set task state. So once that this condition is met on the trigger, it'll activate the set task state. I'm going to then go into the set task state and set the state to succeeded and make sure that show notification is on. I'm then going to right click on the set task state and synchronize it to the create task. So once this trigger is met, it'll activate this task state, which will then set this task that we created to succeeded. I'm going to then go into the create task, give it a task ID, TSK01 for example. I'm going to set the owner of this to all playable units. Basically this means that any unit that's played will have this particular task in their task order. You can differentiate this by sides or whatever you want. For this particular example, I'm going to keep it to all playable units. I'll give it a title, collect the briefcase, and then a description, grab the briefcase off of the table. I'm going to set the destination to disabled, the state to assigned, and the task type to default. Then hit OK. Now, this alone is not enough. There's one final last component that I need. I'm going to go into the modules, or rather systems, F5. Under MCC, we're going to go down to Intel. We're going to click on the world, click as where, and then what we can do is click the Intel, and you can see these attributes that we have here are the most important attributes for this final bit of code. I'm going to get rid of the title, I'm going to get rid of the text, I'm going to get rid of the marker name, and I'm just going to enable delete object after, and then hit OK. Finally, I'm going to right click on the Intel and synchronize it to the briefcase. This particular module is very useful. If I hit play and go into single player, I'll show you exactly what it does. This particular module can be synchronized to any object that has been placed down into the world. On this instance, we use it on the briefcase. Now you'll notice when I come up to the briefcase, there's an option that says hold enter to search briefcase. If I hold search suitcase, it will delete the object and complete the task. The way that this system works is very simple. That module allows you to search objects. Once the object has been completely searched, it will delete the object. When that object is deleted, the condition that we set under the trigger, which checks to see if the object is still alive and present in the world, will now be met. It's changed, so that trigger will fire, it will set the task state to completed, and we will have completed the task.